If you like movies with creepy kids, then Prodigy might be for you. Otherwise, not such a smart choice. The movie stars Jackson Robert Scott as Miles, a precocious kid who has a dark side. We come to find out that this dark side is due to him containing a second soul, the reincarnation of a serial killer, who we witness at the very beginning gets shot after one of his victims escapes. And essentially he comes back to complete that mission and finish off the final girl. You might recognize Scott as the star. He played Georgie in the reboot of the movie It. He's probably the high point of the film. Very creepy, does a good 1,000-yard stare. He's staring past you or into your soul, and he changes back and forth readily between being a cute, adorable kid to being get the hell away from me. The movie, according to the director, the director said he was most inspired of all horror movies, The Exorcist. But this movie seems almost like a reincarnation of the 2009 movie called Orphan. Basically the same thing. You've got, in that story, Orphan, you had a little girl who turned out to actually just have a stunted growth, and she was an adult, and she wanted to replace the mother of the family. There was a major edible complex was the plot of that story, and you've also got that in this, except it's much more subtle. It's just the Miles will go ahead and awkwardly stroke his mother's hand. In the movie, his past life, the serial killer would chop off his victims' hands before killing them, so he has this obsession with hands, and thus stroking his mother's hand. The other thing is, again, in both movies, the villain was Eastern European, so again, very similar to that movie. The one thing we don't have in this movie is, in Orphan, we had a younger sister that the evil girl was adopted into the family, and there was already a younger sister. In this film, there's no one else except for a dog and an absentee father. And unlike other movies where the family gets stressed out and there's a lot of drama between family members, we don't have that here. The father sort of has an excuse for really not getting upset, in that he says, we find out he had been abused by his father as a child. So he's kind of reluctant to discipline his kid, but most of the time he's not even there. The one time he sort of raises his voice, he's kicked out of the home. Then he comes back like a couple days later and everything is fine. So there's no tension. There's no drama between the family. But we do get a lot of creepy scenes with the kid. There's a lot of hallucinations, a lot of dreams that the mother has. 1 second she'll be looking at her sweet innocent boy, and then we see the scary face of this full-grown man who he is the reincarnation of. So there's some good jump scares. There's some good atmosphere. The movie is rated R mainly for gore and blood. So yeah, you'll definitely like it if you like creepy kid movies. But if you've seen The Orphan, it's basically the same thing. And we get we're told that these two souls are battling for this child's body, and they go a little strong on this with the imagery. First of all, the kid has a genetic condition which causes two different colored eyes. The killer also had the same condition. Then also we have when he dresses up as a skeleton for Halloween, he washes off half the makeup. So again, we see the duality, the fight in him between the good and the evil side. So now it was a little ham-fisted at that plot point, but overall, I said it was a pretty fun movie. definitely check out if you're a horror fan and you like creepy kids. Which, let's face it, all kids are creepy, and when they're precocious, they're even more creepy.